Hello everyone. In this video, we will be learning about few of the Excel functions that are essential and probably the most important if you are a business owner or any individual basically. And if you use Excel or are planning to use Excel for your daily business activities, then these functions would definitely come in very handy for your business activities. So today we'll be learning about these following functions. All right. So one basic thumb rule before we start learning about functions is that every function in Excel, every single function, be it, starts with an equals to. All right. Every function in Excel starts with an equals to, and then you start typing the function name that you want. All right. So we'll start with the most basic one, which is sum. Okay. As you see, if as I type in sum, a list of all the functions that have sum as a part of the name pop up. Okay, and I can select any function that I want to. All right, so you can either double click on that function, or you can just once a particular function that you want is highlighted, you can just scroll with your keys or just click on it once. You can simply press tab after that. Okay, you press tab and the function is entered in the cell. Now what you have to do is you basically collate or basically group all the numbers that you want to apply this function on. Okay, that's the thumb rule of any function as well in Excel. So we are wanting to find the sum of these salaries of all these employees. Okay, so let me just start by selecting one cell. Okay, so there are basically a couple of ways to do this. Okay, so firstly is by individually selecting the cells. You click on this cell, you put a comma, you click another cell, you put a comma, you can click on any random cell, you put a comma, you click another random cell, you put a comma, you click another random cell, you put a comma. You can go on with this procedure and then you press enter and you get the sum of all the cells that you have selected. Okay, that was one method. Another method that is the most common and the most used method is by selecting a range. All right. So what you basically do over here is you enter the sum function, you click on one cell and then you drag. You don't leave the left mouse button, you drag and you select the entire range that you want to apply the sum function on. Okay, so let's say I want to apply it till here. I want the sum of all these salaries. That's it. I press enter and I get the sum of these salaries till here. Right, this is the most commonly and the most efficient way of calculating sum. Another method, which is the old school method that most people don't know about and most people don't use either, is doing it manually, which is you just simply click on one cell, you enter a plus, you click another cell, you enter plus, another cell, you click on plus. This is another method, but I mean, nobody would recommend this method to you because this is the most inefficient method to calculate sum, subtract, multiplication, anything. All right, but yeah, that is one method as well. So as I said, this is the most efficient method that we would probably always be using to calculate sum. Another thing that I would like to tell you about functions is once you enter a function and once you either double click it or you enter the tab button, you see something over here, right? So what this is basically the syntax of the function, and this tells you a lot about what kind of values you need to put into this function. Before that, if you just hover your mouse over these functions, you see a suggestion kind of thing that basically gives you a summary of what this function is about and what this function does. Okay, so if just for example, if you don't know and you want about what this function does and you want to know, you just simply hover your mouse over these functions and you can see Excel pops up some message which basically tells you what this particular function does, right? So once I select the function, I see these kind of things, which is basically nothing but the syntax of the function, and it tells you what kind of values you have to put in inside the function. Let me take another example of say VLOOKUP over here. This tells us all the different kinds of inputs that you have to give to this function, and the syntax and any of these inputs that have this square bracket around them, they are optional. Okay. The square bracket basically means that it is not compulsory for you to put it, and Excel has a by default value for these optional functions. So even if you don't put in any function, Excel will by default enter a value. So it might not make much difference to your results, but it is always recommended to look into these optional values as well, because these might hamper your results. You might not get exactly what you want. It's always better to look into and check whether you are putting in the right value to these optional value inputs as well. All right, essential Excel functions that you would need for your business. Firstly, well, you all must be knowing about sum, but I'll just let you know one quick shortcut about sum that many people probably don't know. Is when you just have some, when you just have a cell selected at the end of any list which has numbers, and you press the shortcut Alt equals to, right? Alt equals to, it automatically fills in the sum function, as well as selects, very intelligently selects a range that is most probable to be the range that you actually want to apply the sum function on, and I simply press enter and you'll get the answer. That is a very quick sum shortcut that many people don't usually use. But apart from that, people always know about sum. But one thing that you usually don't know about is sum if, average if, count if. All right. So we know about count. What count is simply it counts the number of fields that are present in a given list. All right. But what exactly is count if, and what exactly is sum if, and what exactly is average if? Well, count if. Let's start. Count if when I enter and I press tab. COUNTIF basically counts the total number of total number of values present in a list given on one particular criteria. That is very important to remember. That COUNTIF, SUMIF, and average, they all work on the basis of one particular criteria. Okay. So say for example, in this case, I want to calculate the total number of employees. This is our employee table, right? We have employee name, building, department, hire date, all of these details. So in this given table, I say want to calculate the total number of employees who have their status as full-time, right? So I selected the range in which I want to calculate, the range that I want to count, and I put in a criteria. Criteria over is that it should be full-time. I press enter and I get the answer as 374. You can check the because other way, if I just select this and I have the count result over here, it is 742. If I exclude this, it is 741. There are total 741 entries over here, but full time, if I say, there are only 374. Okay, I'll just drag this down till hourly and you can get the total number of entries for each of these in one simple click. All right. Similarly, we have SUMIF. What SUMIF does? Same concept. SUMIF basically calculates the total sum given on one particular criteria. Okay. The syntax of SUMIF is a little different. What we do is we first select the range on which we want to apply the criteria. Say for example, same example, if I take that I want to calculate the all the full-time employees. So I'll select this entire column that has the status. I'll click on full-time. Now I'll select the sum range. All right. At the end of this is the last thing that I click on, that I select. That is the sum range. That is the total. That is the range on which I want to get the sum. Okay. So in this case, I want to get the total compensation of the employees. All right. So what I'm doing over here, I'm simply saying that I want the total sum of employees, of full-time employees. Right. I'll just press enter over here, and there you go. This is the total compensation of all full-time employees. There's just one condition applied over here. Similarly, I'll just drag this down and you can see that I've got the total compensation of each of these status employees, be it half-time, contract, and hourly. Coming down to average, a very similar concept. I'll just type in average if, it's exactly the same concept I would say. I'll just select the range. I'll select the criteria, and then I'll select the total, the column from which I want the average. All right, which is in this case again is compensation. So here I've got the compensation of all the full-time employees. This is the average of compensation of all the full-time employees. I'll just drag this down, and you can see that I've got the average compensation of each of these category of employees. Now, this was pretty simple, and we probably might not. We might have several situations where we want to complicate things, where we would have several conditions, right? That is where count if is or count ifs comes in, right? So this is a very general concept throughout Excel, that if you have an S followed by any function, then you can put in several conditions, several criteria, and if it is not followed by any S, then it is a single criteria. So it's a very similar concept over here, that in COUNTIF and SUMIF and AVERAGEIF, S, what we are doing is we are putting in several conditions. All right. Only if all the conditions are met, we get the total count or the total sum or the total average. So how does the syntax look like? Count if S. All right. So same thing. I'll just select the criteria range, which is again I'll say full time. I'll just select the entire column and full time, right? So one thing about count if S is that you can use it in the same way that you use count if, right? We can just put one criteria and that works as well. You can see that we have got the same answer, which was 374 that we got over here, right? But the point of count if S is to use multiple criteria, right? So let's say I want to calculate the count the total number of employees who have full-time status, as well as they have a rating of say 5. All right, there you go. It's 99 now. All right, so this basically tells me the total number of employees who are full-time and have a rating of 5. I could complicate it further. I could say maybe uh, let's say the total number of years of service of the employees is greater than 10 years. So I cannot simply put in 10, because that would mean that would bring in me all the total number of employees who have worked for exactly 10 years, not greater, not lesser. All right, but I want greater than 10 years. So what I do is I'll put greater than 10 within double quotes, and there you go, it's 32 now. So 32, so from now we know this, that there are total 32 employees who have a full-time status, who have a job rating of 5 and have worked for more than 10 years in the company. I could simply drag this down for all these statuses, and there you go, we've got the answers over here. Now coming to sum if s, sum if s concept is the same, that we will calculate the sum on based on several conditions. But one difference between between sum if s and count if s is that we first put in the sum range over here. All right. So here in this case, say we want to calculate the total compensation, right? Total compensation of all when all the conditions are met. That's the first thing that we'll select over here. We'll select the total compensation first. Then we begin to put in our conditions. So again, I'll put in the same conditions. Status, I want full time. Rating, I want 5, and I want years of service to be greater than 10. There you go. So we have got the sum of the compensation of these 32 employees over here. That's what you've got over here. I can simply pull this down, and I'll get the total compensation for all of these based on the condition that we have given. Again, very similar concept in average if as well. Same, I'll just select exactly same syntax, average range if first select, then I'll select the conditions. So status, I want full time. Sorry. So status, I want full time. Rating, I want to be 5. Let's say let's make it a 4 over here, and let's make years of service less than 7 over here. All right, I could say anything. So this is the average of the employees who meet these conditions that I've given. I'll just pull this down, and I'll have the same for all of these statuses. So that's how you use COUNTIF, SUMIF, AVERAGEIF, and their plural versions as well. So now we learn about VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP is probably one of the most used and one of the most efficient functions that we have here in Excel. And you'll get to know by the end of this as to why VLOOKUP is so popular and how it can significantly help in your daily tasks. So basically, VLOOKUP is used to fetch an information from a different list to to another list. For example, over here we have this rate table where we have a rating for each of these comments. Excellent, very good. Each of these have a rating, have a rating number at the, and we have another table over here where we have the names, where we have the rating name, and where we are to bring a numerical score based on these ratings. All right. So what we'll do is we'll start by entering the function first is equal to b. So as you can see, once we have the function highlighted in blue, we can simply press tab and Excel will fill in the function for us. So we look up. First thing over here is lookup value. By lookup value, we mean the cell or the value using which we have to bring in the, we have to fetch in the information. All right. So over here, we are to bring in the rating for fair, right? That's the reason we'll select this cell E2, and yeah, that will be it for lookup value. Next, we have the table array. By table array, we mean the table from which we are to bring the information, the entire table from which we are to bring in the, or to fetch in the information. So in this case, that table is this rate table. So we can always go ahead and select this the entire table manually, or we can just go ahead and select the entire two rows because we do not have any other information below it. So it's much more convenient to simply select both the columns. We have both of these columns selected, A to B, and that looks much easier to understand over here. Next, we have the column index number. By column index number, we mean the number of the column, the sequence of the column of this particular selection that we have just selected over here. So in this case, we have selected A to B, and we are to bring in the information from the second column, which is this, the numerical score, which is the second column, right? Irrespective, had there been information behind this as well, we would have had several columns before this as well, but that does not matter. We only look at the selection over here that we have selected, that which is the table array A to B, and in that particular table array, the numerical score is on the second column. All right, so we'll just go ahead and put in number 2. Next is this range lookup thing. Range lookup is basically, it's an optional value, but I would strongly recommend you to always put in a range value. The reason is, if you do not put in a range value, Excel by default chooses true, which is an approximate match. But we almost never, there are only rare cases where we would need an approximate match. But almost all cases, we would always want an exact match. And for that particular reason, I would always suggest you to go ahead and select false by double clicking on it, or you can simply type in 0 as well. All right, that's it. You press enter, and we get the numerical score 71, which for fair, which is very much correct, as you can see over here. I'll just go ahead and double click on this fill icon, plus icon over here on the bottom right corner. When you double click on it, you can see that the entire list has been filled in with all the numerical scores for each of these ratings, right? Now, you might think that, hey, it was a very, I mean, there are just hardly 40-50 list and I could just manually look and put in the information. But when we come to lists like this, where we have, say, an employee list of our company of 700 or 800 people, it's very difficult for us to manually put in information, right? And that is where the true power of VLOOKUP is visible to us, all right? So what you'll do is, we have two tables over here. This first table has the social security number, the employee name, the salary of each employee, and the department to which the employee belongs. We have another table over here where we have the department, where we have the social security number, the hire date, and the number of years that the person has served in the company. All right. So what you have to do is we have to bring in the salary from this table. And if you might have noticed, the only thing that is common between these two tables is the social security number. Okay. So we'll start by putting in the VLOOKUP function VL and simply press tab. You can see it fills up. So as I said, the only thing that connects, that is common between these two, is the social security number. That is the thing that we'll use to fetch an information from this table, right? So we'll select, that is the lookup value. The table array in this case, again, as you've guessed it, it would be the entire column, entire table array, this table. Now, as I said, we already have a blank two columns over here. Now these two columns could be having any information. We could have several more columns as well. But still, now if you would see the column index number, we would not put in E, which is 5. We would not put in 5. We would put in 3 because this is the selection that we're talking about, and we are talking about the column in this particular selection. We want salary, and salary is the third column in this selection, and that is the reason we'll go ahead and type in 3. Next, range lookup, as I said, we do not want an approximate match. We always want an exact match in this case as well, because it's salary, and we have we want to find salary for every particular employee which have the unique social security number. So we'll go ahead and select false. Press enter, and you can see that we have got the salary, which is 1,17,432. If I go ahead and search this in this column just to confirm it, it's because of the, yeah. So as you can see, we have found the social security number over here, and the salary for that person, that employee, is 1,17,432, as we have exactly found it over here. So there is no scope of any misrepresentation over here, since we are selecting false, which is the exact match. There is no scope of anything, any false information. Excel will always get you the exact information that you want. I'll simply double click over here, and you can see that the entire column has been filled in for us with salary for each of the employees, and you can just randomly check any for any employee, and you will find that the answer is 100% correct. There is no scope of anything going wrong over here. So you can see that is the power of VLOOKUP, and you can definitely use this for several daily activities in your business.